In each English sentence, we need to pay close attention to something or a principle called the parallel structure. Each structure in the English sentence must be parallel. Uh, so let's get to know what's meant by a parallel structure. Let me get the pencil. When we're using one of the conjunctions such as and, but, or to connect words or phrases, they must have the same grammatical function, so that the sentence must be parallel. For example, let's take a look at example A. Steve and his friends are coming to dinner. Here we were using and to combine two subjects into one compound subject. Steve is a noun and his friend is a noun also as well. So in this combination we have noun and noun. Example B, Susan raised her hand and snapped her fingers. Here we have raised her hand and snapped her fingers. It's a verb and verb combination. Example C, he's waving his arms and is shouting at us. Here we have also verb plus and plus verb. So the structure is parallel. Parallel means it's equal. What comes before and equals, or it has the same grammatical function as what comes after and. The same case applies to and, but, or, the three coordinators. Example D, these shoes are old but comfortable. Comfortable is an adjective, old is an adjective, so it's adjective plus but plus adjective. It's the same, so it's equal. Or we say it's parallel. Example E, he wants to watch TV or wants to listen to some music. Here we have our coordinator, and it's preceded by to watch, which is an infinitive, and it's followed by also an infinitive. If we're trying to write or compose a series, we use commas between the series elements. For example, example F, Steve, Joe, and Alice. Here, the three elements are the same. They belong to the same part of speech, which is nouns. Okay, Steve, Joe, and Alice are coming to dinner. Remember that we're using commas between the three elements. We don't just use nouns, we can also use verbs in a series. For example, Susan raised her hand, snapped her fingers, and asked a question. These are phrases. So we're connecting several phrases with the use of commas. Remember that the three phrases must be of the same grammatical function, right? Of the same grammatical function. So what comes before and are phrases, verb phrases. So what comes after and is also a verb phrase. Example H. The colors in that fabric are red, gold, black, and green. Here we're giving a series of adjectives. All of them are parallel. All of them are adjectives. Red is adjective, gold is adjective, black and green are also adjectives. You should also remember that we don't need to use a comma if the series contains only two elements. So this is incorrect. We should write Steve and Joe are coming to dinner without a comma. We don't need a comma if we're talking about only two elements. Let's take a look at some of the exercises. Okay, exercise 1. Here we're gonna have some underlined parts and we're gonna define what parts of speech are they. Example 1. The old man is extremely kind and generous. Here, and is preceded by an adjective and followed by an adjective as well. Number 2. He received a pocket calculator and a wool sweater for his birthday. Here is our and it's preceded by a noun and it's followed by a noun. She spoke angrily and bitterly about the war. Here is our that's the main point we need to stand on. And it's followed by an adverb, and it's preceded by an adverb, and it's followed by an adverb as well. So this is adverb. I looked for my book but couldn't find it. I looked, that's a verb phrase, and couldn't, that's a verb phrase. So verb, but verb. Number 5, I hope to go to that university and studied under Dr. Liu. That's our let's mark it. So I hope to go, it's preceded by an infinitive, and study, and you know that the second two can be omitted, it's optional. We can say I hope to go to that university and to study under Dr. Liu. It's the same. Number 6. In my spare time, I enjoy reading novels or watching television. Enjoy is always followed by a gerund, enjoy reading novels or watching television. So the two parts, right before and after or, are equal. Here, this is a gerund, reading is a gerund, and watching is a gerund as well. Number 7, he will leave at 8 and arrive at 9. He will leave at 8 and arrive at 9. And here is followed by a noun, and here is followed by a verb, will leave, and will arrive. We can say will arrive at 9, and will, the auxiliary, can be omitted since it's optional. We don't need to repeat the auxiliary in the second section of the sentence. We can say he will leave at 8 and will arrive at 9. We can say that, or we can just say he will leave at 8 and arrive at 9. Number 8, he should have broken his engagement to Beth and married Sue instead. That's our and. Here it's followed by should have broken. That's a verb. And should have married Sue instead. Should have married Sue. And the auxiliary verbs can be omitted since they are optional. There's no need. They mustn't be. They don't need to be repeated in the second part. All right. Let's take a look at some of these exercises. Exercise 5. All right, so each of these sentences, they have some errors, all right? We're gonna fix or correct the errors. Number 1, by obeying the speed limit, we can save energy, lives, and it costs us less. Here's our and. This is, we can save energy, this is a noun, lives, this is a noun. So and must be followed by a noun as well. However, it's not. It's followed by a clause. So we need to remove this clause and add a noun as well. For example, and money. And money. So the sentence would be, by obeying the speed limit, we can save energy, lives, and money. Number 2, my home offers me a feeling of security, warmth, and love. Here's our and. We need to locate it first. So what comes before and? We have security, which is a noun. We have warm, which is an adjective. And have love, which is a noun. So here we don't have a parallel structure. So we need to remove warm, which is an adjective, and write the noun, which is warm. Warm. Number 3. The pioneers labored to clear away the forest and planting crops. Here is our and. It's preceded by an infinitive, so it must be followed by an infinitive as well. So we're gonna cross out planting crops and write the pioneers labored to clear away the forest and to plant crops. And the to, remember the to is optional, so we can omit it, so we're gonna write it between parentheses. We can say the pioneers labored to clear away the forest and plant crops, or the pioneers labored to clear away the forest and to plant crops. Number 4. When I refused to help her, she became very angry and shouted at me. Okay, first, where's the pencil? And that's our and. We have located it. So she became, that's a verb in the past simple, and shouted. We shouldn't say shout, we should say shouted. Number 5. Number 5. In my spare time, I enjoy taking care of my aquarium and to work on my stamp collection. Some people have a hobby of collecting stamps, like post stamps. The aquarium is like a small vessel that we put some fish in. It's a vessel of fish, or a bowl of fish. All right. So in my spare time, enjoy is followed by gerund. Okay, first of all, where's the and? Here's the and. Enjoy is followed by gerund. So taking care of my aquarium, that's gerund. And to work, no, this is an infinitive. So this should be also turned into a gerund. So we should say, I take care of my aquarium and enjoying and working on my stamp collection. That's it for today. The rest is homework. Thank you, class. Have a nice day. Good luck and goodbye.